Hello, welcome back to Wildfrost. I am here once again. We're going to do something a little different in this video, but I'm going to start off. I want to do a few plugs. I won't do these too often, but, you know, I should do a few here and there. Last week I did the Puzzles and Survival sponsorship. Technically these are just for stream, but, you guys can hear it too. Why not? It helps me if you want to, and the games are free that I've been playing. So, I'm playing this week. We are doing Final Fantasy 15 War for EOS. It's based on Final Fantasy 15 mobile game. It's okay. I don't mind it. So I'm gonna display capture here for a sec. I swear, like 30 seconds. You just scan this link or scan this QR code. If you're on mobile, click the link in the description. It'll take you to the App Store. You install it. You get to 100,000 power, I think it is, and I get rewards. Not in game. I get money. I don't get like in-game rewards. It's not like that. So yeah. And then also the other thing I want to say is often people don't know that I stream. I stream 5 nights a week, 10:30 Eastern. There's a link in the description. Right now it's Sunday through Fridays, so I'll be live most likely after you hear this video. There you go. There's the plugs. We're done. Not too bad, right? Now, I said I wanted to do something different in this video. What do I want to do differently? Well, so I want to do like a full over explanation of this run, because I've gotten to the point where I can just talk and autopilot through a lot of these combats. But today, we can just do a full sit down and converse through, because I think that'll be helpful for some people if you're struggling with this game to hear my thought process in its entirety instead of the abridged version. Now, I do know that we have some pretty bad heroes here. Why are these heroes bad? Well, if you look at their health points, they are 6. That's not very good. The number I want for health is 8, because 8 lets you tank 1 aimless from the final boss, and it lets you tank 1 aimless from a Bigfoot if you have to. Ideally, you don't have to, but sometimes you do. But that's okay. We will pick one of these. I kind of feel like... Okay. My theory is simple. If you have a bunch of low health characters, you should play Snow Dwellers, because Snow Dwellers has Shell. You have extra options for defense. You have Kernel, you have Shell Shield, all of these things. So I'm going to do this. I kind of want to play the Summon Fallow hero, but I feel like because of how it's weighted, I will actually never play this because the health is too low and this clan is kind of scary. We did play Snow Dwellers yesterday, but for now, I'm going to continue on the line of playing what's good. Here, we'll talk about pets real quick. Everyone has a lot of different opinions about pets. I've heard that people on Reddit that made tier lists put Spike in the F tier. They are allowed to have that opinion. I don't mind. My biggest happiness about this game right now is that I overcame, because I heard people telling me Spike is bad, and I overcame that and started playing him anyway and went, wait, no, he isn't. He's busted. I defeated people's opinions, which is good for me. My feeling about the pets is pretty simple, though. If you just want to win, play Spike. He's the best by a lot. It's a pretty large margin of power gap between the characters. He's just so good, because I don't feel like you want to be playing your pets all the way through to the end of the run. It's not really all that good. And Spike is the best at winning a few specific fights and then getting out of your way. He's very good early, he makes it very hard to die, and he's very good late. If you, for some reason, don't want to play Spike, you want to play something else, I think that the second best pet is Snoof. Snoof, fast attack timer, Snow, importantly 3 attack. There are a lot of charms you can hit for Snoof that just win you the game. Especially in Junk Clan, I think Snoof is good, because if you can give him Barrage Snow application is very powerful. And then you're... Basically, if you hit Gachapomper and Sun Cream, Snoof can become a solo win condition. He just needs a lot of support, which is rough. After that, it's all about the same to me. I think Sneasel is probably the best after that. Just high HP, not too bad. And then these 3, Bushu's just really slow, but the renewable health is cool. Wilgazi is low HP and scary. I like Wilgazi, but the health is too low for me. And then Loki... Anyway, we're going to play Spike. I'm just going to keep it rolling until I break the streak, and then we can start doing some interesting stuff. Perhaps. Let's rock. So, first combat. The way that you want to approach these, if you're having trouble understanding these fights, is you want to look at it from the perspective of how long do I have? The thought process is pretty simple. I have 4 cards in hand and 4 turns before I have no information. So I don't know exactly what's spawning in. I know it's a winter worm and a goblin, but I don't know what the winter worm will have. But you can sit here. I also won't know what cards will be in my hand in 4 turns. So I think the best thing to do is talk about what we do know, and we know our next 4 turns. So what's happening? In 3 turns, a Snoof is hitting me. In 4 turns, a Grouchy is hitting me. In 5 turns, my hero is hitting. So, to put it simply, there is 3 damage incoming before I will wipe the board. If I hit the Grouchy, it's more. The best way to go about this is to, as a result, I believe, set up a potential 4 kill if the Goblin comes in down here on the bottom, which I think it will. We're not going to be able to save the Gnome here. I don't think it's too worth it. If it's convenient, you can, but it's really not with a Barrage hero, and I'm not going to ruin my day. So, with all of this said, we don't want to play Sunrod because we want our hero to go after the next wave of enemies spawns in. We want Snoof to hit into Spike, and then we sword... No, we can ignore Snoof. We want to stop the Grouchy from hitting us, and we can do that with stick, sword, sword. And we want him to die in time with the next wave spawning in, which means we want him to die in 5 turns, so we want to effectively set his counter to 6 so that we can kill him whenever we want. That way he won't be hitting us. So the play then is stick, sword, sword. And you might be thinking, hey, well, you have an extra turn, and you're right, and this turn is free. You probably just play Woodhead. Just because you don't want to play Sunrod to change your hero's attack timer, and you don't want to hurt your kills, but with Scrappy Sword. So you go stick, sword, sword. I'm stupid, by the way. That sword was supposed to be played later. Sorry, it was supposed to be Woodhead there and then sword here. Or sword on this turn. Oh, the winter worm's in the way. Yeah, that's my fault. It happens. It's not that big of a deal. It's a very, like, don't beat yourself up over small mistakes like that. It won't end your run or anything. But yeah, the thought process is correct, but I also, if I'm fully explaining everything, I have to make sure that I'm doing the math correctly, which sometimes I will miss. So now in this fight, in the snow starter fight, I think the best thing to do is freeze out the Goblin. It's silly to mess up and miss the 4 kill, or it wasn't even a 4 kill, it was a 3 kill, but it's not the end of the world. And the way to play it out now is to just recover by freezing the Goblin a few times. And this turn is free. If you're on a 1 redraw bell, you play a card because it's a free card play. Baby Snowbow is fine. I was gonna say we can hit the Goblin more. I'm close. If I could play sword, if I had 1 more turn, we could play sword, sword, and then triple kill, but I don't, because the Goblin will run before we attack. So in this case, what I would like to do is delay the fight more. And to do that, what we will do is we will move Spike up, and we will save ourselves, because otherwise Judwell's going to swing. And what we want to do here is take 3 on Spike, and then let Woodhead take the next hit, and we will set up a double kill here. With this, so the Goblin runs in 3 turns and our hero goes in 4. So we have time to play Sunrod, and now our hero goes before the Goblin runs. You have to have a full turn on him. That's a double kill, and we'll walk out of here okay. I could have made a little more money if I played it better, but it's alright. It happens. Mistakes happen, don't beat yourself up over them. We walk out of the snow fight at 64, that's not too bad. Now, on the map pathing, it's pretty straightforward. Unless you get, like, sub 50 gold, I think you go away from the gold. But that's not always the case. You want to be picking up a treasure and 2 travelers, ideally. 2 treasures and 1 traveler is fine. But the idea is that you're getting more power out of this than you're getting... It's power going into the second fight versus power contingent on seeing a good shop. I prefer to get instant power because instant power is more money. I'm gonna go Spore Pack. I think Spore Pack is interesting. I don't think it's super good, I think it's just okay. It's good at killing big groups of enemies that are low, which is nice. Yeah, and then low HP. Perfectly good banner, nothing to hate here. I think Colonel is good long term, but Bomb Bomb is really good right away. But I already have Bomb Bomb's effect in our hero with 6 damage barrage. And 7 damage barrage here, so I'm gonna go Colonel. I also now have insulated myself against making a mistake with Bomb Bomb and losing my run, which can happen. Don't act like you're immune to mistakes. This game is all about them. Skipping Bomb Bomb here because she one-shots your hero is fine. Of these three characters, I think that I kind of want to play Demona. 3 turn timer, 1 demonize. It doesn't seem that terrible. But Jumbo actually here, Jumbo with Colonel sounds really good. You get to have Jumbo tank some hits, hit Colonel a few times, and give shield. Alternatively, we can play Wallop, because Jumbo is really inflexible. It forces you to play Jumbo Colonel hero. And Wallop is good damage. We don't have good damage right now. I think that we aren't in a position to just live forever. So I'm going to take Wallop, who will do well. This fight's okay. The best fight here is the one with the Ringer, because there's a bunch of clunkers to kill for free. But this fight's okay. The plan here, sorry, I'll do the full talk through, but the plan here is basically we want to lower Earthberry's health so that I don't take Infinity on Spike. Yeah, I'll even go so far as to sword him. I might try to set up a multi-kill, actually, and if I want to set up a multi-kill, I want to delay his attack so that he goes down to 2 health. And if you freeze him, he lines up with Berry Witch, which is definitely the right choice. Now it goes sword, sword on Berry Witch, and we get a double kill. Yeah, because Berry Witch won't heal the Earth Berry. And I don't mind holding this hand a little longer for the extra money. Spike takes 4, that's all good, and then I have to hold this hand one more turn than I would normally want to, because I need to play Colonel. Yeah, unfortunately, can't do anything cool here with the Barrage. I wonder if it would have been right. If I knew this fight better, I actually just don't know the Earthberry fight super well. If I knew this fight better, I would have tried to keep one enemy alive. I didn't know 4 things were spawning in there. Okay, so let me go through the full turn here. It doesn't matter a whole lot, to be honest with you, but all you have to realize is that there's only one threat in the next 3 turns, and it's this Earthberry, and there are a lot of ways to defuse it. We want to hold Woodhead to stop Queen Globbery, though. So what we'll do here is we'll play Wallop, and then we'll freeze the Earthberry. Actually, you know what I like a little more here? I'm under very little threat. I'd rather let Colonel take this hit of 6, he'll be fine, and I'd rather freeze the Goblin. I'd rather do this because I'm under such a small amount of threat from these enemies that greeding for money is fine. We have so much health, and we have Woodhead to tank Queen Globbery's first hit. I'm very unconcerned. This is a low roll. If the Berry Witch goes up here where Queen Globbery is, we get a triple. But that's okay. Will a Wallop come down? 6 damage up here. This is a 3. I can probably still set up a 3. I'm gonna play Woodhead now. I need to get Woodhead on the field to tank Queen Globbery. I have time, but it's only 4 turns. It's not like Flame Water does anything here. Right, so now I just need to move it so that Wallop takes the Earthberry hit, and you sword the Berry Witch. And that'll give us a nice clean triple. We've recovered. You see, sometimes you make mistakes. I think it's very hard to play the early game perfectly unless you want to spend a lot of time thinking. And I don't. It just takes forever. So, you know. I don't mind being down. We could probably be up like 10 gold here, but we're in the range where it doesn't matter. As long as you're going into the shop with... Well, the first threshold is 80 gold, so you can buy a crown, and then after that, it's... there's no shop, what a shame. But after that, it's... You want to have somewhere like 50 more gold to be able to buy 1 card or a charm, but we have Charm Merchant here. I am going to go to the Merchant. I think that spending gold to increase power is important regardless. Goat Totem, Fungo Blaster, Heartforge. I want to try Fungo Blaster. We have this Spore Pack, but I feel like it requires some... We have to hit something big, but... let's go Totem of the Goat. I disrespect this item way too much. Especially with our hero, it lets us do 12 damage barrages, because our hero will basically always be going second. We can try to play our hero carries. Wow, that Blaze Tea. Isn't that something? Yeah, we could take our hero's attack up to 9 even? Blaze Tea isn't terrible. I know it looks really bad, but it's not the worst. I think I want to buy Shell Charm. My general philosophy here is that defensive options are better, and 8 Shell is going to be worth more than 1 block in a majority of cases. And then we want to end so that we have enough to buy... Leaving Combat 3, you want to have enough to buy a crown plus the Lumen Goop, because you're most likely going to see it in a shop. And if it paths away from the money, you won't be able to buy both. And so we want to end around 100 gold. So I can buy one more thing here. I can buy Moose Charm. It's a question of, do I feel like multi-attack or +3 for the +1 is worth more. I actually think +3 might be worth more because of Totem of the Goat. Single hit of 18 versus 2 hits of 6 is 12. Well, it'll be 1 hit of 6 and 1 hit of 6 again, but the second hit will be, or the first hit will be demonized. I'm gonna go Moose Charm, shockingly. It's also cheaper, which is nice. And we're gonna slam it right away. We're gonna just slam these charms out. I'm not going to Acorn Charm my hero. I'm gonna trust myself to not fuck up here. But if we get Bigfoot combat, we're going to have to be very cautious. That's all. Not here, obviously, 2 combats from now. Spike gets to shine versus this Makoko. Spike does very well at killing Makokos because he kills them not super fast, but fast enough. And we'll play... Oh, Totem of the Goat plus Spike here. This Makoko gets obliterated. Wow, that's so good. So, sorry, I didn't talk these turns out, but this turn is just play your units. A lot of times at the start of a fight, because you're not under any pressure, the best thing to do is just play out your units, like this. And then all of that is obvious. Play Goat because it kills Makoko. Play these two. It doesn't matter the order because there's no attack coming. The last thing to do here is figure out what to play. I'm sure you can take a guess here, but it's going to be Snowstick Porcupine so that we don't lose our Totem of the Goat. And we want to offset Porcupine from Infernoco. Hope the Makoko spawns in up top. Oh, there is no Makoko. Double health charms is kind of a shame, but that's alright. Now we redraw because you don't want either of these. I'll talk through all of these cards here. It's pretty easy though, because nothing matters here. You have to play 4 of these cards in whatever order you really want. We want to set it up so that our hero is multi-killing both the Frost Stinger and the Porcupine ideally. And so the best way to do that, and the best thing to do here, is move Colonel up. Spore Pack the bottom. This sets the Porcupine below the damage threshold. And now we just sword the Frost Stinger and we take a 3 kill here. Make sure we move our Totem of the Goat out of the way. You didn't have to do it because the Porcupine is Totem of the Goated, but it's fine. Sword the Frost Stinger and that's an easy triple kill. Nothing too spooky about it. We even gain HP through Colonel. Like I said, it's a little bit of a shame because I feel like we're not getting to play Shademancer as much, but something I've noticed lately as I've been focusing solely on winning is that I haven't played much Shademancers at all. Unfortunately. Okay, we got 2 more turns. If you snow something, you're going to make the Snow Gobbler scarier. Right now this enemy is a non-factor, so we're just going to ignore the snow. What I'll do is I'll Flame Water my hero here. This pushes an important breakpoint. It lets us kill Winter Worms in 1 hit. And then last play here doesn't matter. This guy, Snow Gobbler, is dead no matter what, so we can just throw Woodhead out over Scrappy Sword. It's nice to have the target. Ah, no Winter Worm. How about it? We redraw, you both take 4 over here. The best thing to do with our time right now is just speed up our hero's attack. And so that's what I'm gonna do, I think. I think you just Sunrod here. Does this fight might not have Winter Worms, now that I think about it. I'm pretty sure this fight doesn't have Winter Worm. This is where the Woodhead can go tank a hit. I'll let the Wallop tank it. Woodhead can tank a 4 later on. I'm doing 20. Wait, I have lethal here. I just killed the boss. You see it? It dies straight up if I want it. All you have to do is move Wallop to here, and then the boss dies because this is 20 plus 4 plus a 3 kill. So here's the question. Is it worth it? I think the answer is no. I think I can multi-kill the boss whenever I want. And so I would rather not multi-kill right now. I don't really need Wallop on the board here. I think what I'll do is I will recall Wallop. Or I could just move. I can leave Wallop up front, right? And then it's 8 plus 10 is 18. You go to 5. Yeah, that's fine too. Alright. What I'm going to do with the rest of my turn here is freeze the Frostinger. Or I could sword it. I'm going to freeze the... no, you sword it, and then it dies to Spike when it swings, which is nice. Very cool. Nice. So we're delaying, and the delay is only good if I get something off of the next 2 spawns. Otherwise, I wasted money. But I think it should be right. So we're going to sword the Frostinger down to 4. We can take 4 through Infernoco. I'm not afraid. I don't really want to play Snow Stick or anything else here, so I'm just going to play Flame Water. Like, you just want Infernoco to hit now rather than later, I feel. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you just freeze him because it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. Come to think of it. Ah, just one enemy. So I didn't gain a whole lot for delaying, but I didn't lose anything either. All we're going to do in this position is fast draw to Sunrod and win the fight. All you care about is getting your hero to go first here, although I guess I could do it by just freezing as well. So you can think about Infernoco as being on a 3-turn timer right now. This attack that he's doing doesn't matter. Oh, it does matter because Colonel... I need Totem of the Goat to die so I don't rob myself, because Colonel kills because of Totem of the Goat. Right. So if I can just fast draw through... Yeah, just fast draw for Sunrod here, because if I do that, my hero's on a 2 and Infernoco's on a 3, I go before Infernoco swings again. It's just a guarantee. And then all you care about is this Frostinger. Ah, what the hell? Oh well. My fault. Doesn't matter that Totem of the Goat dies. I had to recall it. That's my bad. I didn't think about it correctly. It applies it before it attacks. I thought if it died, it would clear the... or it wouldn't play the Demon Eyes, but oh well. It doesn't make that big of a difference. I lost 15 gold there, which we're 178. We're plenty. Battle choice is pretty simple. You basically never pick Companion Limit +1. The problem is that clunkers take up too much space. You never really have room for another unit on the board. So card draw versus redraw bell. I think that if you want the general rule, card draw in Junk Clan, redraw bell in this clan, and then pick whichever one you prefer in Shademancers. Because you typically want to play your cards. The freeze cards in Sunrod are all really good. In Junk Clan, you have a lot more junk. And you want to draw through that junk faster. Good map generation. Interesting map generation. Another Charm Merchant. I'll go look at it. We have to save about 100 gold, which means if there's a really good charm here, we can win the game. Yuki, Snoffle, Bonnie. Yuki's better than Wallop, but I don't have any good freezes here. And what we're going to play for, actually, is our hero winning. So I'm going to take Snoffle. Our hero is our main carry, so just slowing things down is good. We bench Spike at this point. Cake Charm is game-winning for sure. If I knew I was getting a Shell Bow, I would consider Weakness Charm. Hook Charm's whatever. Critical Pepper Ring is whatever. I'm going to buy Cake Charm here. I think that is fine. Cake Charm is a game-winning pickup. Because you can put it on, at worst, Flame Water, and then you Lumen Vase it, and that is a permanent +12 to your hero. Doesn't take long to win off of that, although it will actually take us a while to win still. But we're pretty good at stalling, and that's all we need to do. So we're going to buy Crown. Shop choices are pretty easy. It's buy every crown you see, and then buy the Lumen Goop, and there's nothing else to do because I bought a charm. That charm is very good, though. Cake Charm is game-winning. Second crown, we can put it on Snoffle, because you want him to go faster. I can see a lot of ways through this run right now. I have a high hope index. What I'm going to do is I'm going to not fuck around here. I think holding the Cake Charm is not worth it. If I bought Funko Blaster, though, Funko Blaster plus the Cake Charm Spore Pack would be fun. Okay, so all we have to care about now is getting our deck to a point where we can play Sunrod on our hero very consistently. Okay, fight. This is the fight where if you wanted to argue that keeping Spike into this combat is good, you could, because Spike is good at this fight. But I think Spike is really bad at fighting King Moko. That's what I'm looking for. So we only have to play 2 cards here. It's pretty easy to play these out because most of these don't do anything. You're never playing the swords because Spore Pack is better, and we want to play Snow Stick here because you want to offset the Jab Jotes so that you can move Colonel to soak it all up. And that's that pretty much. The Jabjots will get annihilated by our hero plus Totem of the Goat pretty comfortably. And then we just redraw for better cards. Well, yeah, Flame Water is good. No doubt. I think you just take the +6 on the hero. Snoffle freezes these guys. And now we have a 15 attack, which means we get to just clean up. Okay, so how do you look at this? How do you approach looking at this? It's pretty easy, actually. What we want to do is we want to play Scrappy Sword on Jabjo in time with our hero, so our next turn is handled. What do you play on this turn? There's two options, two schools of thought here. You can play Wallop just to get Wallop going. Fine, very reasonable. What I'm going to do is Snowstick the Gawk, because my health is my most important resource, and tanking a 5 here isn't super worth. I can play Wallop later. I don't really care about Wallop's damage anymore. All I care about is my hero surviving to hit enemies. Oh, one more thing, the Pygmy is here. I don't care about the Pygmy. And this Jabjo is net positive on my health bar. So you just kill Jabjo and we take a 4 kill home. That middle Jabjo here gets obliterated. Holy. Yeah. And now before I redraw, I will play Wallop. It's worth it just to get her out. And honestly, before I redraw it, normally I don't like to do this, but I will actually play another card. It's good to play Sunrod. Here comes Muttonhead. So, in this position, I'm going to redraw because I don't care that much if Gawk swings, because if he does, I will just tank it with the goat. Putting Woodhead down is also viable there, but I think it's important to get redrawing fast. You want to think about your Bell as your most important resource. Wasting turns playing cards out has to be really worth it, and Woodhead is just only okay, in my opinion. Now, on this turn, it's pretty easy as well. What I would like to do is I'd like to line up this Pygmy dying with these 2 deaths here. We can do that a few ways, but I think the best way is to just play... we have to play 2. We have to play Sword on it. Downside is I'm taking a 5 here, but I can tank it with Totem of the Goat. Like I said, it doesn't really matter to play Totem of the Goat or not. But alternatively, and if you want to take a little extra time here, we can look for a 5 kill. No, we can't because my hero's just going to wipe things out. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to chill. I'm actually going to play... I'm going to play Scrappy Sword. I think it's fine to go for the 3. I don't need this demonized source. It's okay. I'll live. It'll apply it to the Gawk too. Yeah, I'm fine. And then from this position, it's just completely over. Freeze Muttonhead or whatever. Play Woodhead, Sunrod, Junwell, whatever you want to do, really. The only thing I really care about here is getting my hero to go before the Gawk, which is now guaranteed with Sunrod. And we're done. Not too bad. Whoa, there's a guy here. What do you think of this guy? I think we use him as a double kill. Hit him twice, take the money, and leave. I'll have my hero come down, and we'll have Wallop kill him. Hit him twice, take the Junwell hit on the Muttonhead, and now all we're doing is waiting for my hero to go again. My hero... We can just go Snowstick, Sunrod, Snowstick on Muttonhead here, pretty much. We are guaranteed to draw another Snowstick, I believe. Plus Snoffle, yeah, he'll never go again. We're great at locking the enemies out of playing. And if I don't hit Snowstick, I'd hit Sunrod here. We draw a 6, I think. Alright, nice and easy. Good money income, too. We made, like, 100 gold? Something around there. So the pathing here is pretty easy. Before we do any hard decisions, though, we can just take the guaranteed information. We always get this treasure, and it's okay. So think about it from the perspective... Think about it like this. What do we care about here? What do we want? Good question. The answer is pretty simple. It's survival. What provides the most survival here? Frostboom's pretty nice. Moko Totem is good as well. It's just too scrap. Mimic is bad here because we don't attack fast, we attack very slow. And Mobile Campfire, +3 is a drop in the bucket on our hero hitting 15s. It doesn't push any interesting breakpoints on the final boss either, so I think this is Frostbloom. Just a nice little way to lower some hits. Okay, so do we want a Charm or do we want a Muncher? This deck is pretty consistent right now. Muncher is nice, but I prefer to roll the dice. You can go Muncher here if you want. You know what, let's go Muncher here. I think Muncher is safe, it's consistent, it's easy. I've changed my mind, we'll go Muncher. We'll throw 2 swords away. We'll call it good. We are okay on backline damage. You don't want to throw away all of your swords, I think, especially not early. Damn, the Yuki run here. We couldn't take Snobble and Yuki, but you know, Yuki plus Snobble, it's okay. Foxy Pyra. I'm pretty sure it's Pyra. Why is it Pyra? Well, what does Wallop provide here? Not very much. 9 HP, 4 damage, sometimes it's 12. You know, I think Wallop's better. This is more consistent damage, but it's slower. I'm fine with this. Now, we are going into the horror. We actually don't do terribly into Bone Cats, though. We have a good hit, and we have defensive options, and Bone Cats hit small numbers frequently into Kernel, which is good. But this is the horror. I actually would prefer to fight Bone Cats, though, here. Ah, good. Ah, not good. Oh, not good. Another paw on the monkey's paw. Another finger on the monkey's paw. Another monkey's paw. Monkey me, monkey now. It's okay. Here, let me run through the turn. You don't have to, it doesn't really matter the order here, but we have to play Totem of the Goat, Flame Water, Sunrod. Maybe Spore Pack. We'll talk about it when we get there. But it doesn't matter the order because the attack, like, everything works the same. Goat, Flame Water versus Flame Water, Goat. Doesn't matter. We want to localize all of our attack on our hero so that they always one-shot the enemies. And because our hero just one-shots things, I will probably start focusing my damage towards Smog. But I think the best thing to do is just lower my attack timer. It's very good to go first here. Now what? I'm going to redraw, but you could stop to play cards at the Smog. I think it's better to redraw here. He gets snowed. I'm gonna play, so the plan here is to let Wallop kill this guy. Wallop has enough health to survive. Wallop goes in, deals 12, he's done. The problem is that we'll be aimless and there's gonna be a small cat behind, but it's okay. We play Wallop. Colonel does his job and makes our hero unable to die here. A shame we didn't kill the Marrow, but it's not the end of the world. This Pawpaw's pretty gross. Okay, so this is a shame too, the gobbling up here, also not great. What I will do here is I will freeze the Smog so that it has a longer turn timer than Wallop. Wallop now has a good chance of winning me the fight, because as soon as the Smog is dead, the fight's pretty much over. And we're just gonna farm infinite armor on our hero through Pawpaws. I don't know, I can't quite kill the Gobbling. I think I might, but after Wallop goes, I might just start hitting this Pawpaw. Actually, Wallop just swings one time. Here, let's freeze the Pawpaw. Wallop swings once and then gets recalled no matter what here. So once Wallop swings, we can just recall. I don't care how much damage it is. Yeah, I'm down to play Spore Pack on the top. And then use recall. It's maybe, you're gonna take 7 most likely, and then you're out. It's fine. We're setting up kills here. Money is not a thought in this fight. Oh, great job, Wallop. You're getting promoted for that one. Holy, that's so nice. Ah. But, like, the important part of this fight, because this fight's very frustrating, what's important here is making sure that that doesn't matter. If she hits the Gobbling, it sucks, but it doesn't actually make the game unwinnable if she hits the Gobbling or the Pawpaw. That doesn't matter that much. We're okay with all 3 outcomes, and we got the good one. So what are we going to do now? we're going to wipe this entire row. For sure. The best thing to do here now is just let our hero go instantly, because what we don't want is we don't want our hero to have to go into Mawjaw. Also, when this spawns, it's going to spawn an aimless, so it's good to just get rid of the marrow right now. Definitely. I don't care about the goblin escaping. This is not a fight where you have to care much about money. Yeah, it really isn't. You'll have enough money because there's no shop in the prior ring. Or prior area, I should say. Some people ask me what I mean when I say rings. That's a monster train. So what do we do here now? It's fine. I think you just... It doesn't matter too much what we play here. I'm going to freeze Mawjaw, but it's not a big deal. We let Pawpaw hit Wallop for 1, and then we withdraw Pawpaw. I'd like to... I think I'd like to smoke the Smog, freeze it up a little bit. Great job, Wallop. Get out of there, champ. Okay, then we go here, on up. Don't hit Mawjaw for fun. We have 2 more turns to play out. I think it's just Snow Stick, Snow Stick. There's not a whole lot that matters here. We're just waiting for everything to die off now. We're out of the scary part. Maybe the worst part of this is this Pawpaw. Could hit a 4. That doesn't seem very good. I'm just gonna keep freezing Mawjaw. We're chilling. This fight's over. We're never in a position to have anything die now unless I fuck up into Mawjaw. So let me talk about the money thing, right? The shop generation that as I have figured it out, or as it seems to me is how I should put it, is in such a way where the shops are pseudo-seeded. Like, we'll see a shop in the next ring, and it should have the vase piece in it, most likely. And then after that, after the Combat 5, after Truffle/Crunker, we will not see a shop. So I spend all my money in the next shop because of that. In the shop after that will be right before the final boss. I will illustrate it to you when we get there. You'll see what I mean. Sure, sure. I suppose. Right now, all we're doing is guaranteeing that no matter what happens, I win this fight. I can't die from this position. My hero has too much HP. So now it's just making sure I don't lose anyone for fun also. You can probably set up a 2-kill here. It doesn't matter what I play on this turn. All that matters is that... Oh, I don't want Wallop to swing. On the following turn, I hit this Pawpaw with a sword, and I will guarantee a 2-kill. Doesn't matter what I play here. Sword, Pawpaw, hero will kill either Mawjaw or Smog, and we walk out of this fight A-okay. Much prefer this to the Gromble fight because we're very slow, and the big feet would have tore me up. I would have been a lot less confident. At least we have Snuffle. Snuffle makes that fight a lot more playable. One Sunrod and Snuffle makes everything okay. Yeah, from here it's just play cards until he dies. He dies eventually. Eventually. But yeah. If you want a cheat sheet to the shops, you spend... so there are... You should see about 4 shops. 4 to 5 shops. There should be one right before the first boss, which is Infernoco/Bamboozle. In that shop, you want to leave with around... You want to leave so that when you finish Infernoco, you'll have around 100 gold. More is better, of course. The shop after that should be... There will be a shop right after Infernoco, sorry. Then there will be no shop in the ring after Combat 4, and then there will be a shop here, I think. Is how it works out. I'd have to look at the full map to really show it to you, but, you know. It's a darn shame I can't go to the Shade Sculptor here, because I would love to get a second Cake Charm. But that's okay. This is basically like getting a second Cake Charm. Very similar. I recognize what I was saying to you there almost certainly doesn't make sense, so I'll try to... I'd have to draw it out, I think, for it to make sense. But basically, you spend all your money in this shop because there won't be a shop in the next area. The next area will just be one node before we go fight hogs, and then there will be a shop at the end. I'm gonna buy Berry Blade. It's good. And I'm going to buy a Charm. Also partially buying Berry Blade so I can finally prove to the YouTube comments section once and for all that this card is bugged. My war continues. I almost want to greed the Berry Blade. Wouldn't that be cool? It's kind of sweet. Because greed on the hero, we already do enough damage. So here's how you think about it. With Flame Water, we're doing... Oh, maybe I can get more. Hold on. Because you crown this, we're at 12, we're at 21. I need plus 9. If I can get plus 9, I can knock one of the 30 health enemies off on my first swing, which is really good. Oh, and I don't need it because I have Totem of the Goat. I have enough damage. So I think the Greed Charm is wasted on my hero. I have enough damage already. What I would rather do is have targeted damage through Berry Blade that I can use on command. And it gives me big healing as well. That's pretty cool. Let's do it. Now what's crowned here? Snoffle Colonel. No crown on Wallop. Wallop's just here for the paycheck. I have the time to play Wallop, so it's okay. Oh man, I'm so glad this isn't Crunker. Crunker was going to be such a pain. I apologize. I don't have a cake on my my card. It's fine. It's actually 100% fine because Vasing Snoffle is cool, but I thought I had a crown on Flame Water. It's okay. 15 is fine here. Being closer to 10 on Truffle is good because you get more money. But that's it may sound a little bit like cope. You gotta trust me. We're gonna make Snuffle go first here. It's important to stop the Pop Shroom from hitting Colonel. We prefer it this way. A very important thing to remember on Truffle is that in two turns, 100% of the time, there will be a Puffball. There will always be a Puffball spawn here. So if an attack looks innocuous, if an attack from an enemy looks unassuming is the word I'm looking for, remember that there's a Puffball coming up right behind you. Don't turn around. He's right behind you. Right now, I'm not going to tell it to you every time, but we're basically stopping, or what we're doing right now is playing out our units that matter. Double Fury Charms? That's nice. Okay, what am I doing on this turn? Well, I'm setting up a 3-kill. That one's pretty free. It's not super free. I guess I could let the Pop Shroom go and have it hit the Woodhead. I can set up a 4-kill if I do that. Yeah, okay, check this out. You go Woodhead here, Pop Shroom hits Woodhead, Puffball hits Woodhead, Truffle hits Woodhead, and then I sword the Puffball. Pop Shroom kills itself, this counts for your money. 15 wipes the top out, Snoffle freezes everything up. This is good. This is very good. This is a 4-kill. We're gonna make a ton of money in this fight. Yeah. Cool. So what I want to do now is I don't want to win this fight too fast. That is a real concern right now. I don't want to just crush it. So I want to take time here. I want everything to go long. What my best thing to do right now is Sunrod Snoffle, because the more time I have, the more enemies that spawn, basically. We're going to move Colonel down to split this Truffle. And we're going to Sunrod Snoffle. I think you want Snoffle to go second because it'll go 2 on both of the splits. Yeah, that's better. 3-kill down here. If I want it. I suppose it's fine. There's nothing too interesting to do here. We don't have multi-hits and no one else but our hero does big damage, so we're just setting up a bunch of 3-kills. Which is okay. I don't mind. You freeze the Pop Shroom here, of course, because you don't want it to go. Pretty much. You don't want this thing to hit before your hero does. It's fine to kill a Truffle. I'm not losing out on too much. And then we're just going to Snow Stick Truffle to slow it down, Snow Stick Truffle to slow it down. The bottom Truffles and the Pop Shroom are all dead. The only shame here is that I don't get to freeze whatever's spawning in here. But there's another triple. 2 Porcupines. That's a really good draw of enemies because I can definitely set up a 4-kill off of this. Yes. May as well play something here. Nothing matters. Ooh, can I split and maybe get a 5 kill? I have to make sure Wallop doesn't kill Truffle here on the next turn. What if I split you? Is it a split? It's not a split. What are you at? Must be 1 off. I'm 1 off, yeah. So we stored the Truffle so it splits. Oh, and then just dies to Wallop. Oh well. Because it goes in front of the Porcupine. I have to sort it later. It's hard to visualize that. 2 damage, 2 damage, it's all whatever. I'm gonna Sunrod Snoffle here. From this point, it's just setting up everything to line up properly. And all I really have to do is get my hero to swing and hit the Porcupine with a Berry Blade at the same time. Let's freeze the Porcupine on top. That enemy's the most annoying. Now what? I mean, we're just waiting 1 turn pretty much. If I don't draw Berry Blade, I just press redraw. Cool. I don't even need it. My Wallop kills the Porcupine below. However you want to go about it. Look at that. Another thing I would like to address with Berry Blade is that people have said that Berry Blade bugs when you kill when it kills something. And you can see right there the heal animation played on Wallop. It did not say no targets available despite the enemy dying. That one is not the answer. Okay, so before you go into this fight, if you're playing Spike, play Spike in this fight. Spike wins very well here. And we are playing Spike if I can click him. Spike is very good in this fight, so you just play him here. Charm versus money. We have enough money that we'll be able to buy out the shop after we get the money from this battle, so we will go Charm. If you're low on money here, if you're on like 100, you should go money probably. But it's close. Smackback Charm. I know, whatever. I'm not going to put that on my hero. Actually, maybe I will. Lets your hero Wraith really well, but we have no defensive scaling other than Colonel, so I'm probably not putting this on my hero. It's okay. Well, we'll hold off, because this doesn't do anything right away. It scares me on Hogs, I'll tell you that much. It scares me on the Hogs. My feeling about this fight is that I would much prefer to fight crabs because crabs are so much less stressful. Yeah. And you might be thinking, hey, wait, but what about the haze? The haze is a non-issue when you have Spike. The reason we play Spike is to haze, or to just beat the bursters. So we have 4 turns before anything happens here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play 3 cards. I'm going to play Spore Pack, Snow Stick, and I guess Flame Water. I don't need Totem of the Goat. We're going to one-shot everything here anyway. You play Spore Pack first to chew through the block. You play Snow Stick second, because what we want here is we want these bursters to have their attack timer offset. That way, Spike can tank all of the smoke for you. And then I'll play Flame Water. It doesn't really matter. I think I might have said Totem of the Goat. It doesn't matter. You can play either one. Spike comes up here and tanks this burster. What am I drawing for here? I can stop and play Totem of the Goat as well. I don't have to redraw immediately. It's fine. Oh, I killed that burster though. Not ideal. So the only thing I want is to set up a 3 kill here, and because I'm playing Scrappy Sword to do it, I can just redraw and start the bell ticking down again. Because we will go hero top, Snow Stick the crab so it doesn't hit. Remember to move Spike down for this burster. And then that's a 3 kill. In a perfect world, hang on. It's a 4 kill if I just blow this burster away, right? 3 plus 5 is, oh, is it 8? I think it's 8. I think I'm 1 off lethal. Oh, but Spike kills it with the Spike, yeah. Cool, that's a 4 kill. In a perfect world, I win the coin flip. Oh, I won the coin flip. Oh, baby, the Goblin got the shield. Hell yeah. Now we're just gonna abuse this Goblin for money. I'm gonna hit him because I need to take the shell off of Crab as well, though. I don't want this enemy to hit me. Now, in this moment, this is something I never actually vocalize because it never matters, but you do have to think about it in this case. Do I want to recall anything before the boss spawns? I don't, but it's important to remember that this boss will stop you from recalling. I'm not too worried about him. And this is the whole fight. This is everything that's spawning in. Man, I just want to Berry Blade the crab to see if it bugs at this point. It's all I'm thinking about. I'm obsessed. I admit it. Letting this crab hit me is pretty good because it means that Colonel will kill it. And then I can Snow Stick, sword the top crab. Yeah. Watch this. I think I'm doing this correctly. Snow Stick. It's probably Snow Stick, sword, Berry Blade, actually. Snow Stick, sword. Berry Blade. I'm letting the goblin go. It can go. I don't mind. I'm doing something else now, goblin. You're free to go. Yeah, we Berry Blade up here. Again, okay, if it... here's the deal. If this hits into the block and it heals Spike, I am justified. Oh, wow. Even though I did 0 damage to him, it healed Spike. Curious, isn't it? Rather curious, don't you think? I'll let that goblin go for this 4 kill. Cool. Cool. Numbskull. And then this stage of the fight is just kicking the shit out of Numbskull until he gives up and dies. I'm gonna Lumen Vase the Frost Bloom even. He can hit me for 6, I don't care. Because now I just play Frost Bloom and he goes to 0 every time. I can always draw Frost Bloom faster than he attacks. So we just wait and we keep him at permanent 0. Put Spike in front so that Spike kills him. Wish I could have recalled Snoffle now. Takes so long to get through this freaking block. My favorite part of this fight is when you get to the end of it and then it's just your whole team sitting around Numbskull kicking the shit out of him because everything else is dead. Get him! Destroy! Now, despite having Greed Charm, I'm not going to worry too much. Okay, and now, what you might have said to yourself, by the way, is, oh, well, wait a minute. You only did 1 damage to that guy, therefore you healed for 1. So if I heal for 2 here on Spike, actually, we'll put Colonel up. If I heal for, like, what? Just watch. Uh-huh. Yet I only did 1 damage to him. My war with the YouTube comments is concluded. I am 100% right. Berry Blade always heals for the number that it hits, regardless of how much damage it actually appears to do. It's always credited as doing the amount of damage it says on the card. Sometimes Berry Blade bugs and does not do its heal. We're pretty sure... So, I'm pretty sure this is a bug related to something else you can see in the game, which is... Sometimes the game loses track of where your units are. I had it recently where I had a Mimic in the top row attack when one of my allies in the bottom row attacked. Sometimes I'm pretty sure the game just loses track of what slot your units are in. And that's what causes Berry Blade to bug sometimes. Yeah, pathing here is simple. Walk into the snail. Card removal is simple. I'm tossing Sword, and I'm tossing Spore Pack here because this card actually does very little for us at this stage. The run didn't turn towards it, but it was a fine pick at the start. Now we have $394 to spend. We'll buy a crown. Before you buy any cards, you want to just buy your charms. I'm going to buy all of them. I don't care about Greed Charm. More charms is better. Snowball Charm is pretty cool. And then we get... Shield Charm. That one's okay for our hero. 3 shield on kill. Cool. Room Charm. Pretty useless. I'm gonna take Spike's crown, and we're going to take a moment here. I think I would like to play... I want to play like Pinkberry Juice Nutshell Cake, honestly. Just full defensive scaling. But I can also play Pinkberry Juice Storm Globe or Nutshell Cake Storm Globe. I think any combination of these is right. I don't have strong scaling for Pinkberry Juice, but It only takes 2 plays for Pinkberry Juice to outpace Nutshell Cake, which is it's a pretty good case for Pinkberry Juice over Nutshell Cake, because Nutshell Cake is only +7. Yeah. I'm definitely taking those too. The second source of snow is very nice to have, and then we're gonna go Shield on Kill on our hero, and we're going to go Snowball Charm. Something I've noticed lately, and you may have noticed as well, is that a lot of times I end up not placing Smackback Charm. It's primarily because I want to keep full control over fighting this final boss, Frost Guardian. If you have Smackback on your hero, it lowers the number of units that can smack back into the Frost Guardian. And also, it just doesn't really do that much. Like, how many times do you have a frontline character who wants to smack back? I think the best character for it is probably Nom and Stompy. But you can apply poison on Snuffle. He doesn't apply poison to all, he just does it to one. He'll do it to the front target, but I'll do it. And then with our crowns, we can turn 1, Vase plus Flame Water. It's okay. Yeah, I think it matters a lot for the final boss. It doesn't matter that much here, but it matters a lot for the final boss. The only other thing to consider is maybe turn 1ing Pinkberry Juice, but I'm okay with this. And let's go. So the Frost Guardian and the final boss are interesting fights, but they're not particularly hard. All we're gonna do here, we're gonna play the start, of course, the same way we always have. Now, the Frost Guardian in this configuration doesn't actually pose a threat for as long as I can sit here, and he's a positive because he's going to hit into Kernel for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to sit here and kill everything else off without touching the Frost Guardian. I think we're going to have a little bit of trouble killing this Grizzle, but we can try. We do also want to set up multi-kills to rebuild our income, and we're going to want to... So let's start off very simple. What do we want to do here? We want to get Snoffle to go and put out his snow. We want to put out some snow and work on this spike wall. We want to play Pinkberry Juice and start scaling upwards. So we're probably going to play Rod, Stick, Stick, Juice. No reason to play Totem of the Goat because I just want to hide behind Kernel. So we can go Rod. And it doesn't matter the order you play it in because nothing's attacking. Yeah, look at that, he applies 1 poison. Interesting, huh? Rod, Stick. This is actually frozen up completely. It'll die before it ever swings again. So what I can do now, we're going to save the Storm Globe for enemies that matter, because with Snow Stick, I put this Bigfoot into a position where it dies before my hero, or dies to my hero before it attacks. And then we'll play Juice. And now let's see what we have to react to spawning in. Ice Forge, that is fine because my hero does 18. The only downside is it lets the Frost Guardian hit. We're going to make the choice to redraw here because redrawing lets me draw into a new set of 7 cards, which lets me start pulling cards to kill this Ice Forge. I would like to go Snow Stick, Berry Blade on Ice Forge here. And we're just going to tank 4. That is fine. It's a 4 kill as well, which is good for rebuilding my income. Oh, Berry Blade, it didn't heal me! We know why that one doesn't heal. You don't need me to tell you why that didn't heal, I'm sure. That one, of course, doesn't heal. So I'm going to play Woodhead and Totem of the Goat. I just want to get rid of them. I don't want to draw these cards anymore, more than anything else. We are in full control here for a very long time. It's an extremely long time before we're under any threat in this fight. I guess you could redraw there, but there's a chance you miss Snow Stick. No, I guess it's actually impossible to miss Snow Stick, so never mind. Redrawing there is better. But now I have 2 Snow Sticks in the tank. Honestly, that is a position where I think the choice is pretty meaningless. I'm gonna freeze the Grink. I wish I had a way to scale offensively as well. 21 is cool and all, but 21 is enough where you just run right through the enemies, but it'd be cool if I could do more. I guess it'd be cool to one-shot the Frost Guardian is what I'm saying. But that's okay. What I'd like to do here, actually, is press the redraw bell. No, I can just move up. I was going to say it's good to guarantee kill on the Grink, but I'm not worried about the Grink that much. We'll play a hit on the Mega Mimic, just to make sure he dies. And then step on up. Remember that I will not be dying to the Grink, and my last card here is Pinkberry Juice. It's the only one that does anything meaningful. And all you gotta do now is not die to Mr. 43. I'll blade him. So now what you want to do from here is you want to count up to... You need to delay the Frost Guardian by 2 turns, or you just need to increase your turn timer by a bit. I will do the increase my turn timer by a bit. Now my hero goes first. Not a whole lot else to do but wait. And when you're just waiting, you play the cards that make the most sense to play, like Pinkberry Juice because it gives you free health. We have the time here, we can move the Lumen Vase to Pinkberry Juice even. Boss dies. And now we're just gonna kill the bottom row and then the top row, and then we live for a really long time into this guy. Wave swiftly as the Uba Bear flies by. I'll give Colonel +8, it's fine. I'm down to just take 9 more shell on my hero. And then next round I'll Berry Blade the Uba Bear and get the heal onto Colonel. I will freeze Winter Worm. Seems very fine to me. Nothing else to do of note here. I guess you could freeze the Porcupine. It doesn't really matter though. Yeah. And so now we go... We don't want our Colonel to hit a -1 into the Frost Guardian. Oh, it's only 4. Oh well. Oh well. We redraw here because I want to be sure I have a Snow Stick next turn. But at this point, it's pretty over, regardless of what you do. What I'm actually going to do is wait the Uba Bear out, because I would like to 4-kill, or I guess it's a 4-kill. I want to get the money. I'm going to let the Uba Bear hit and freeze my hero. I am under no threat. Colonel goes up, hero goes up. Totem of the Goat dies here. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna let it go. Fine either way. Oh, I can Stormcloak. It's cool. It doesn't make a big difference to me. From this position, I have so much health that it's very hard to lose. Okay, and now my hero comes down, cleans all of this out, and then my Berry Blade does enough to kill a Grink. Nice. Hero gives me a 4-kill, and that's +1 damage to Berry Blade. We are going to have to wait a while now, but I think we have plenty of HP. Plenty of time, really, I should say. We'll just freeze out the Grink. I'm not going to go for a double kill here. This Frostboom has felt very useless. I already felt this way about this card, but I think it's pretty dead. It never feels useful to me. -3 on a single target, all it really does is kill Razor. Oh, you know, if you do a 0, it doesn't take it from you on your Demonize? I didn't know that. That's interesting. How about that? I've been avoiding playing these cards on Demonize the whole game. I thought it would take my Demonize, but I guess 0 doesn't count. What a world. Alright, nice and easy. Nothing too scary in here. The final boss here will be a little bit more of a challenge, but I think we'll be alright. Alright, now for the last boss. The hardest part about this boss is that our hero is 6 HP and can get sniped. But we have Colonel. So the actual hardest part about this boss is the barrage. And we beat the barrage with Woodhead, so the hardest part of this boss is making sure I keep the Crusher frozen. I do wonder in positions like this if it's best to move the crowns around. I think we're fine. Yeah, I think we're fine, but you could maybe move the crowns to be a little more defensive. The lineup is pretty easy. We're gonna put our team on the bottom. Like so. Hero behind Colonel, Snoffle in the back. And then... let's think about this for a second, shall we? I'm thinking about it, and then I will walk you through it once I come to a conclusion. So what I believe here is that we need to freeze the Crusher. I don't care about the Junker because it's just transferring HP from Colonel to Junwell, which is fine with me. And what I'd like to be sure I get is Totem of the Goat to demonize the Junker. And so I think to do that, what I will do here is I will hold this hand, and I will let the bomber hit my squad here. So we should be fine here. So step one, we're going to freeze up the Crusher so that he's not an issue. Just completely ignore him, he's not real. Doesn't exist. You could delay if you wanted to and let him hit once, but I don't think I want to. We're just going to play all of our freeze. We want to wait until after the bomber goes to play the Totem of the Goat. Although the bomber lines up with the Junker, that's okay. If I am doing this bomber line, I need to Pinkberry Juice Snoffle. I think that's okay. Pinkberry Juice on Snoffle. Oh, and I have Frostbloom here. You know, I'm down to play Frostbloom, actually. I was gonna say I'd play Sunrod here on something, or Snowstick the Crusher. I don't need to Snowstick the Crusher, I have plenty of time. Let's save ourselves 9 health. That seems very nice, doesn't it? Okay. And now everything's frozen up. We play our Totem of the Goat on the top now. It'll put a Demonize on the Jailer for me, but not on the Junker, unfortunately. I care a lot about killing this thing. I'm pretty sure I will Sunrod the Junker here. I take 7 on Colonel, who has 10 HP. That's fine. I'm not killing the Junker, though. Or, sorry, I'm not killing the Jailer, though. Which means I am putting myself into a bit of duress. But it's best to do this, I think, because what else am I going to do here? I'm going to redraw for some other stuff. No, I think your best play here is to force the Junker to attack. The Muncher goes next turn. We get our Demonize out. Put out a good hit. Oh, and our hero has Apply Snow, so the Lancer doesn't get to go on this turn. That's good to notice. We're not out of it yet. This is not a locked-in win yet, but it's pretty close, because now that the Junker's dead, we can play Pinkberry Juice and heal our hero through most damage. Muncher is... I have to make sure the Muncher doesn't eat something I care about, though. You know what? I almost want to Sunrod Snoffle, but I have to Sunrod Snoffle next turn. If you Sunrod Snoffle now, you're wasting the snow on the Frost Lancer here. So, Muncher hits Totem of the Goat. I don't like that. I want the Totem of the Goat to hit and demonize the Lancer so it dies on the next swing. So now we gotta run some numbers here. Can I save Colonel reliably? Muncher into Woodhead. I can save everyone reliably, right? Muncher eats Woodhead. Oh, but it kills my goat. Right, that's the problem here. So I have to play Snowstick on Frost Muncher to freeze it for 2 rounds. And then next turn, it's... Okay, next turn I'm just 50-50. Or I'm like, it's in my favor. Unless Berry Blade bugs. Yes, okay. So it goes Snowstick on Muncher, Berry Blade on Frost Lancer to heal Colonel out of lethal range. I wonder if the best play is actually to just let it go. It might be just to let it go. But I'm getting so much value if Totem of the Goat lives another round. I think it's this. I think it's Snowstick Muncher. I'm gonna follow it through. I don't believe I'll lose if this bugs. That's the important part. If Berry Blade doesn't heal Colonel here, I don't think I'll lose. Cool, and it did. If Snoffle dies, that sucks. That is the best outcome. No doubt. Now, on Totem of the Goat's death, I want it to demonize the Frost Bomber. Although I could maybe get both. But Frost Crusher is going. I need to freeze the Crusher for sure. So, on the following turn I'm playing... So this turn I want to play Frostboom to slow the Bomber down. I'm freezing Crusher next turn with Snow Globe. Yeah. This'll do 2 here. Oh no, it does 2 to the Totem, actually. And then 4 to Colonel? I don't love it. I'm going to redraw. Nothing too exciting about this here. I do have to give up Snow Stick or Storm Globe. I'm okay with giving up Storm Globe over Snow Stick. I think it's Snow Stick, Frost Crusher, and then just take the 4 on Colonel. We should be good to win here from this point. Well, let's talk. I haven't been talking through all of the turns, but I just haven't felt like I needed to. Frost Lancer dies shortly. Bomber takes a Demonize before it dies. That's good. And once the Lancer is dead, there's very little threat to me. I out-sustain the damage pretty consistently. I guess that's what I'm trying, what I should say, what I should drive home here. This fight is basically won. I know it might not look that way, but it's so hard for these guys to kill me from this position. I take 6 on Colonel, which is fine. We're gonna go a while though, which is why we're stacking or letting go of Storm Globe here. This is gonna take a while to finish out, and I'm going to need a lot more consistent freeze than what Storm Globe gives me. Yeah. Right, and now we'll go Snow Stick onto Crusher. Whenever I have the time, I would like to move my Lumen Vase to a freeze. Whenever that is. And then with my last play here, I will play Pinkberry Juice and Berry Blade are the same, because it gives me... you're ending at the same HP, which is 8, so I can play Berry Blade because it is damage. That's cool. Jailer dies shortly. In 3 turns, the Bomber and the Crusher hit me. I will freeze the Crusher and Woodhead the Bomber. Yeah, so Woodhead now, freeze the Crusher, Bomber hits Woodhead. I have another turn here, so I may as well... Well, actually, let's play the Lumen Vase. I've been meaning to take the time to move the Lumen Vase over to a Snow Stick. 5 damage on Colonel is fine, he lives. The Berry Blade continues to hold us aloft here. Even if he dies from this position, I would not lose, but he lives. I'm gonna redraw here, because now I play Berry Blade on the Jailer and it dies. And then my hero can start cleaning up here. The freeze. I have 2 turns here. I would like the Muncher to eat my Lumen Vase, so I will Super Freeze Crusher. Oh, we can move around now too. We're done. This is over. Super Freeze Crusher, and then Sunrod my hero. Eat the Lumen Vase. I don't need it anymore. Oh, you're frozen. Of course. I guess that's fine too. Yeah. All you do now is fast draw into Sunrod, because Sunrod speeds up the end of this fight. Because we're done. The Crusher never hits me again, and it takes the Bomber. So why is this over? From this position, because I can just rotate my heroes in, the Muncher never hits again. It takes the Bomber... what is that? If I go... It's like... So Colonel dies, then Snoffle dies in 2 rounds, and then my hero dies in... If I were to play no other cards and just go, like, Colonel up here, tank the Bomber... If I were to focus entirely on freezing here, it would take this Bomber 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. It takes 9 hits, which means I have 36 rounds before this Bomber can kill me. That's why this is over. That's assuming I played no other cards. Yeah, there you go. Nice and easy. This one was a little bit cut. There was a bit of thinking to do. It wasn't, like, scary. At no point did I think I was going to lose this, but I had to make sure that I thought through juggling the attacks on my Totem. There was a little bit of decision-making in there, but hey, a win's a win. I think that the most important choice that I made in this run, towards the end anyway, was putting Greed not on my hero. Greed on my hero would have been so useless here. And I don't know about you, but I remember I did one of those tier lists. I don't do content tier lists anymore, but I fill them out sometimes for fun when people post them in my Discord. And I put Moose Charm in F tier. I'm starting to come around on Moose Charm. I think it's actually pretty sweet. +3 is a lot in this game, but who knows? It's been a long time since we've played a hero carry build. Hopefully this helped you. I feel like I kind of fell off on explaining everything, but the first few combats are very good for just explaining everything. So, you know, it's cool. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.